Welcome to your energy update with the angels. I'm Devon Duerr, angel intuitive and spiritual teacher. The overall energy right now is all about new things, young, fresh things, things that are just getting started. It's the energy of things being born and new creative ideas coming in. Let's dive deeper into these messages, but first I'd like to invite you to write an affirmation below this video if you feel called to do so that will affirm this guidance coming through to you. And the affirmation is, I easily protect my creations. And you'll see why as we go deeper into this guidance, why I'm asking you to affirm that right now in the comments below this video. I easily protect my creations. There is so much new energy coming in, new people coming into our lives. We are getting premonitions about things, and we're trying to understand all these new things that are happening at once and how we protect what we've already created. So let's dive deeper into this guidance right now. So first of all, like they said, there's so much new stuff going on, and it also means new people coming into your life. Maybe a new child is being born into your family. Maybe you've met someone new and you want to take the relationship to a new level, going from friendship to romantic. Maybe you've even had some psychic premonitions that are coming in, showing you new people coming in, but they haven't quite come in yet, and you're not sure really what to do with it. The angels see the way you felt challenged by some difficult situations right now, but they want you to know things are getting better. And many of you listening right now do have some trips on the horizon, even if you're not aware of it. Have you been trying to plan a trip to get away? Have you been trying to move away from a work project, a job, get out of a location? They see the way you felt challenged by this, and they have so much guidance for you on it, and they want you to trust that it's all working out in your favor as long as you remember to protect what you've created so far. Now, a lot of times when people hear this, they do feel a little fear come up, like, well, what do I have to protect? What's about to happen? When they give you this guidance, they're not trying to bring up fear that you need to protect something because something bad is coming to you. They're saying, don't give up on these dreams you have for yourself. Don't allow yourself to say, well, a good example would be, let's say you do want to take a relationship to a new level, but you realize that might affect some of your creative projects because you're going to have less time working on your creative project when you're starting a new romantic relationship. And that tends to happen a lot at the beginning of the relationship. Well, the guidance there would simply be to have lots of open heart-to-heart conversations with these people in your life saying, I really need to protect this time and space to work on my project, but I also want to see things go to a new level with you. So how can we work together to make that happen? And of course, energy ebbs and flows. So not everything is always going to be this intense. In fact, this is really a heightened form of this energy right now, and they want you to trust it really is bringing a time of positive change. You are going to start to see things move forward, and they want you to trust that good luck and fortune is on your side when you stay positive, when you stay focused on what it is that your heart really wants, and trust that you are coming to the end of a difficult situation. They also really want to commend you for the way that recently you have had to make some fair and just decisions. You've had to make some cuts with things. You've had to stand up for what you believe is right and do what you know is right. And that might have been also bringing up a little challenge, especially with people in your life where maybe you have said, you know what, I'm not going to be able to make it to that event anymore because I have something else going on. Maybe it's something where you said, I'm not going to be able to be part of that project. Or maybe you are telling close relationships and loved ones, hey, I want to spend a lot of time with you. I love you. I want to support you. But I also need time to do the projects I want to do, take the trips I want to take. So this is why they gave us that guidance at the beginning with the affirmation, I easily protect my creations, because they don't want you to give up on what you want for your heart. They want you to really believe in yourself and have the courage to keep going. Now, what was the first thing that came to mind for you when I said, don't give up? Is there something you've been thinking about throwing the towel in on? Is there something that you feel like it would be easier if you weren't trying to do it? And this is where the guidance want to remind us that a little stress is okay. It actually helps us understand where there are limitations and where we can expand things. So try to do what you can to find the humor in situations, and also find the silver lining where you maybe learn something that you didn't know about a person, about an option, about a job opportunity. Now, some of the things that are coming up for us is a sincere need to forgive yourself or someone else for something that's caused you great sadness. They're wanting you to take all the time you need to heal from any brokenhearted situations, from any disappointments, and trust that if you keep going, you keep following what your heart wants, you will be able to break out of that energy. But also bringing in that self-care, bringing in that self-nurturing, and allowing yourself all the time you need to heal. So if there is an example of a relationship that came to an end that you weren't expecting and it caused a lot of hurt feelings or feeling left out, they want you to look for ways to forgive others and be compassionate, but also when it comes to forgiving yourself, because a lot of times we're much harder on ourselves than we realize. And what we're really doing is we're chastising ourselves for not seeing the truth about a person, not seeing what was going on behind the scenes, not being able to understand other people's motives in a way that would have protected us. But that's okay. They're saying you still have plenty of time to move out of that energy and to trust that things are getting better. And this is where your personal power is going to come. We do give this get this guidance very often, but specifically for your personal power with the energy at the time you're hearing these messages, is there might be something you're afraid to take action with, and it really is taking the action that's going to get you out of this energy. What have you been holding back on doing, saying, and taking action on because you feel trapped? And the angels want you to step into that place of remembering that this is a false illusion. You are not actually trapped. It's more that it's a lack of self-confidence. And a lot of times we won't gain the confidence we need until we start taking steps forward. And it's okay to take baby steps forward. Maybe you are thinking about starting an online business. So just take the first step of finding a domain name you like, or setting up a social media account, or take an online course about it. Nothing has to happen all at once, and honestly, it can't all happen overnight. It takes time for things to manifest the way they are meant to manifest. So this brings up the second affirmation I wanted to give you that's based on this guidance. And the pocket affirmation I encourage you to write below this video is, I am free to be all that I am. I am free to be all that I am. We want to remove any self-limitations that we're trapped in a job, we're trapped in a relationship, we're trapped in a collaborative project, or we have to do something a certain way. We are in an age right now where we are being asked to find alternatives to things that have never been thought of before. It's where there's a will, there's a way, and we are innovating the way we are doing things. So an example that just came to mind that maybe somebody needs to hear is, maybe you've always taken the same vacation every summer, but it looks like you're not going to be able to do it in the time frame you wanted, or have it be the same way you can. How can you change your plans, adapt to certain energies and new environments where you still get that same experience? So think about that, because we did get that guidance that many of you listening right now are going to have some trips coming up for you. Maybe you already know what they are, or you're not aware, but you're really knowing you need to get out, you need to get away, you need to take that break. And the angels love it when we can take time away from our daily schedule every once in a while to gain a new perspective. And they do see the way that when you felt challenged, as they said earlier, that what they were commending you about by having to make some cuts, make some decisions, stand up for what you know was right, and it felt a little challenging, that is serving you going forward. And it's helping you have that confidence that when you follow your heart, you will make the right decision for yourself and for your loved ones and those around you. Now, speaking of those around you, they want you to look to see who is offering you opportunities to really step into that personal power and show yourself you can use willpower. Where there's a will, there's a way to get things done. And who is going to help you and support you along that way? Is there someone in your life or someone you could reach out to that could help you with your plans, help you be strategic, help you find alternatives to situations where you might be feeling trapped? Sometimes it's as simple as having that trusted professional or someone who's responsible who's a third party to listen to the situation in a neutral and practical way and repeat back to you what they're hearing, because a lot of times we are allowing ourselves to think something's a much bigger problem than it really is. Now, one of the things that we want to be watching out for is, where are we putting too much fear into something because it's not moving as quickly as we want it to? And are we allowing ourselves to fall into anxiety and fear about this? Are you having sleepless nights over something that's not moving as quickly as you want? Well, they want you to know that anything that has come to a halt or has seemingly slowed down was there to give you that new perspective and help you see, oh my gosh, there's a fourth, fifth, and sixth alternative I never would have thought of had we not slowed down, paused, and looked at things differently. So again, that's why it's always wonderful to get someone else's guidance that you trust, a professional for any situation you're in. And do remember too that we want to protect what we've created by what we're sharing. So we're not necessarily running out and telling everybody our ideas, but we can, get ideas from watching others, learning how they did things, and make sure you're not sharing your ideas with somebody that is not going to support you. And here's the thing, a lot of times our loved ones will come off as not supporting us because they're trying to protect you and protect their own heart. And so they might say, oh, I don't like that idea. That's not going to work. That's too risky. And in your heart, you're going, no, I think this is going to work. So be careful who you're sharing your ideas with, because ultimately by taking these baby steps and looking for these new partnerships that are coming into your life, continuing to move forward with them, you're going to be able to really come into your own. So that's ultimately the overall guidance here, is keep moving forward, even the tiniest step every day, spending 10 minutes in contemplation working on it. And this is a great reminder here too, that, we always think that productivity comes from actually being able to check off a to-do list. But sometimes my most productive moments are when I'm reflecting on things I've already done. I'm looking back at things from the past. I'm using hindsight to understand what worked, what didn't, where was I being guided? And that is where I get some of my best aha moments, because they did give us guidance about that a little earlier, that, we need to take all the time we need to heal. And I'll give you a quick little example here. When I was graduating college, I graduated with my accounting and business administration degree. I was about to take a lucrative job position with a huge accounting firm, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't enjoy the internship. I never wanted to be an accountant. I didn't want to go into that field. And that field in particular would have kept me away from my family, my animals, for a large part of the time. And I knew that wasn't going to work for me, for what my heart wanted. I wanted to be able to always come home to my family, eventually children when I had them, which I did, and be able to always be with my animals and things like that. So I was really torn between, I take this great job opportunity, I keep moving forward because it's right here in front of me. And I was starting to justify it by saying things like, well, if I take this better job offer, I'll have more money to, put my horse at a nice barn where the people can help with my horse when I'm out of town, things like that. And I was starting to talk myself in to taking this job position so I could make it work, that I would be gone all the time, Well, right when I was getting ready to take the job offer, I don't know if you've seen my video, Hearing Honey, the story time about where my horse scolded me, and she literally did yell at me. I am not making this up. Go check out that video. This is what ultimately led me into my animal communication training that I did, is that, she ended up passing away right before I accepted that job offer. So all the reasons that I was about to convince myself to take on this lifestyle I didn't want, I knew in my heart I didn't want. It was actually causing recurring dreams that were nightmares, where I was being taken away from my family and my animals. As soon as I turned that job offer down, those nightmares went away, and I realized I was convincing myself to do something I never wanted in the first place, and I was doing it based on what society was telling me to do and what I was raised to do, and by conditioning. And the only way I was able to justify it was saying, well, this is going to give me the opportunity to do this. Now, that's not saying that there aren't reasons to keep a job temporarily or to take a job temporarily so you can't have what your heart was, because the angels will often say, don't quit your day job yet, because that brings in insecurity for you that will ultimately affect your creation. So if you're feeling very insecure with your financial resources, it's going to affect your creation. So Again, look around for those new partnerships, those new opportunities, but keep moving forward and don't allow yourself to feel trapped like I did, feeling like I had to take that job offer in order to have a nice place for my horse to stay while I was out of town. So you see the way that I was justifying it, and I wasn't really listening to my heart. And of course, when my horse passed away, it did cause she was my best friend. It caused great sadness. I had to take lots of time to heal. It did affect my creative projects. It did affect my relationships. I even made poor judgments with relationships for a while because I didn't take enough time to heal before getting into new relationships. So that's why they are saying baby steps are okay, but just remember you are not trapped. You are coming to the end of a difficult situation. And I know that some of you really needed to hear that message right now, but some of you may be going, I don't feel like I'm in a difficult situation. I just have so much going on. I don't know what to do next. Well, that's why they're wanting you to trust that this new energy coming in is meant for you. So keep your eyes open for these new partnerships. And you know, one of the things I also like to remind you is, remember, we do have to ask the angels for loud and clear signs. We do have to remain aware of signs coming in for us, because if we just turn a blind eye to things or we talk ourselves out of it, we miss the synchronicities. But another message that came to me really strongly when I was on my walk the other day was the word allow. So we say aware, but what about allow? Are you allowing these messages to come to you in the time they are meant to come for you? Are you allowing your life to be divinely guided? Are you allowing yourself to be in divine flow? So let's do one more pocket affirmation here. If you feel called to write this in the video below, I am in divine flow. I am in divine flow. You guys have heard me say this so many times. My subscribers, I love you so much. Thank you for always being here. I am in divine flow is my favorite one because I feel like it covers anything and everything. But that word allow came through so strong for me when I was on my walk the other day when I was working through my to-do list. So I was kind of in that place of, well, I'm not feeling like things are stuck, but I am feeling like there's so much going on. I'm not sure what to take action on next or where to put my energy. And I just heard the word allow. Allow the loud and clear divine signs to come to you, and it will happen. And this is when I stepped into that energy of allowing, all of a sudden I got a text message offering me something. All of a sudden I got an email from a friend saying, hey, can you meet at this time to talk about this project? And I'm going, yes, my heart lit up at that. So those are the things that we want to do, is we want to allow this energy to move forward, but it's okay to do it in baby steps. And we want to really make sure we're protecting what we've created so far, and that we remember we are free to move forward. We don't want, our personal power comes from remembering we are not trapped in our current situation. We can take action on it, but we don't want to be afraid to take action and stay stuck. So I hope that's really helpful. And if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button, like and share this video with anybody you think it would be valuable to. And let's wrap up this guidance with one more message from the angels about new partnerships coming forward. They did say to keep your eyes open for that and to allow them, but we don't want to force the energy. So the final message here was to look around to see where you've been hanging on to relationships that are not working. You've been keeping the lines of communication open because you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you just feel like it's easier than just cutting off the relationship. Could those communications be blocking these new partnerships from coming in? And I'm not just talking about romantic partnerships. That might be what came to mind for you, where maybe you're still trying to be friends with an ex and it's blocking the new romantic partner from coming in. Or is it where you're still talking to your boss about things, and even though you left that position and you went out on your own or something, and now you're not having as much time for your own work because you feel like, oh, well, I work with them for so long, I owe them this time. So look around to see where you're keeping the door open for somebody, but they're not quite walking through that door. And it's time to go ahead and lovingly close that door and say, you know what, this energy is not working for me. I'm going to open the door to someone new, because new partnerships, new collaborations, and new opportunities are coming your way if you allow them. Remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.